I'm Hollie Strano, and welcome to Abruptly Authentic. And today's show is really powerful. I'm going to be talking to Melinda and Matt, who have founded the Miles Group. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe not, but you're going to know a lot about it after today. Melinda and Matt founded this group after the loss of their son. The Miles Group empowers youth to make informed choices about substance use by providing evidence-based education, supportive group activities, and resources. Through partnerships with schools and families and community leaders, we address both the risks of substance use and the underlying factors that contribute to it, fostering a culture of prevention, personal growth, and peer support. Their mission is to equip young people with the tools that they need to navigate challenges and build a healthier, safer future. This is a really important show today. I'm so grateful that you're here for it. I just want to thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What we're talking about today is not easy.
No.
And really important. And you're really brave for being here.
Thank you.
So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I want you to tell us about your son, who he was, beyond the headlines, beyond all the statistics and the news and everything that was probably so hard for you to go through.
Right. Thank you, Hollie. Yes, and that is what I like to focus on his life, not, just the ending of his life, because he was so much more than that. So he was only 19 when this happened, and he was one of the most social, lively, happy, engaging, people that anyone has ever met. Most engaging person. He was a self-taught musician. He started playing guitar when he was about 11 years old. He played all types of guitar, bass, acoustic, electric. He loved music from like the 70s and 80s, 60s. He played in a few different bands. He was also just so well read. He started reading at a very young age. He started reading at like 4.
Wow.
And sometimes he would read 2 books at a time.
He was
don't
baby
know
Einstein.
How. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah. So he was just an all around, just a very great person. And many of his friends and a lot of our family always say it was just one of the coolest people they had ever met.
And his name is Miles.
Yes.
So Matt, it's good to have you join us as well. And I want to start by asking you how your understanding of addiction changed after what happened with Miles and your experience.
Yeah. I don't think I really understood addiction as well as I thought I did.
Yeah.
Not saying it was a choice, but I think there's a point where people reach when they realize they have a problem and they can get over it. But that doesn't happen to people. Some people don't have that switch or motivation to do that. And some people will live in a lifetime of recovery because of their substance use disorder and addiction.
Yeah. Would you feel comfortable talking and sharing about what happened to Miles, how the overdose became part of his life, your lives?
Yeah. So in 2021, which was during COVID, and, I think a lot of people struggled with just everyday life. And if they were having any struggles with their mental health or feeling anxious or depressed, it was kind of amplified during that time. And as I had mentioned, he was a musician, and he and his friends had really started playing in different local venues around Cleveland and Lakewood and really having a good time doing what they love. And then when, because of COVID, everything shut down, and he wasn't going to school in person and wasn't able to do what he loved with playing guitar, playing music. So life changed abruptly, and I never want to blame COVID, but I'm just saying kind of leading up to it.
COVID really impacted
It really
us.
did. It really did.
Did you see the signs?
Yes, when it was too late, I think. But I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, was it drinking? Was it weed? Was it? I had no idea. And I had no idea the pills were involved. And I've known how dangerous pills are in the community and whatnot, but I didn't know fentanyl was in the pills. I thought it was in heroin.
Right. Like, how could you?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's heroin. He's not doing heroin. He's not gonna.
Right.
So I never that I didn't get, of course, until it was too late.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed he started hanging around with some other friends that he'd known for a long time, but they were different than his regular friend group. And I started to see some changes. He was definitely sleeping more, staying out more. And he and I had always been really close. He's one of 4 boys that I had, but Miles and I had just a really kind of unique relationship. And he used to tell me everything. And then he really wasn't telling me everything, and I just felt kind of like I can't figure out what it is. And you know, I've always worked around teenagers, I've always worked in mental health. You know, I started looking through all the possible symptoms and what could be going on, and because I wasn't, you know, finding any alcohol, I didn't smell like alcohol, but there was definitely something had really changed in his personality. And
what was he acting like that was different?
He was more angry, and he was not really ever an angry person. He had really just kind of a humorous personality, more angry and more just distant and more dramatic. Like everything just seemed just different. I don't know how to explain otherwise, and I just couldn't figure it out. Like I knew something was going on and he wasn't telling me. And
God, how hard for you.
It was really frustrating. Yeah, he seemed like kind of a different person very quickly.
Yeah, too. And as moms, we just
I mean, we all know
fix things, and then sometimes we also, I think there's that struggle of, you know, at that age,
yes,
the fine line of intervening too much.
Yes,
right.
Yes, and what is typical of, you know, that age group, teenagers or young adults, and then what is typical during those times. And
could we talk about that worst outcome?
Yeah.
When did you find out before the actual?
Well, we maybe like 2 months before it happened, you know, that was a period that I was really confused and just not sure what was going on with him. And he had had a car accident. And when he'd had the car accident, the police had reported that they had found Xanax. And I said, well, he doesn't take Xanax. I don't know where he could have gotten that or anything. And
so this is the first time you're hearing of something like this.
And I was familiar with people who had, you know, I had known different people. Either they had had a problem with Xanax or an addiction or a sibling, you know. But something told me that this just seemed more than just Xanax. But even then, no one mentioned anything about
us, right?
Anything about anything else. I knew nothing about fentanyl. So
it was probably not even on your radar.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So he had admitted that he was struggling with, you know, substance. At the time he said Xanax. And he said he wanted to try to go to a treatment or something. So he did.
Okay.
And we talked every single day while he was there. And I was feeling pretty good, thinking, you know, well, maybe that was just a, you know, something in passing, one obstacle or whatever. And I really didn't know that much about recovery either. And he had only been home like 3 weeks from the treatment center, and he that's when it happened. So he came home a little bit before Halloween, and he passed on November 13th.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
there's just no words.
No, there really isn't.
I say I'm sorry, and I it's just not.
Yeah. No, I
there's
understand.
no way to.
Right.
It's awful.
Yeah. And it never gets easier to think about, or, you know, the feeling is always there.
I have to just say I'm so sorry.
I've just accepted that. The feeling is awful that you'll have. And instead of like, oh, I got to get rid of this feeling, it doesn't go away.
What do you wish people understood about your son's journey? I mean, obviously it's out there,
Right.
you know, in the media. And I feel for you with that because that's so hard.
It is. It's hard because I think people do, no matter how much education people have and how much awareness is raised, there's still so much stigma and judgment out there. And no matter how many people are in my situation from all backgrounds, I just feel like people still are very quick to just judge or assume that, you know, either as parents we did something wrong or that he was somehow inherently a bad person, which I don't believe anyone is and never have. That's just not how I
It's not how it
live.
works.
Yeah. So I do wish people knew that everyone uses coping skills that aren't the best, and some coping skills have, higher risks or, bigger harms than others. And with drugs and substances like fentanyl, there is no room for using something recreationally or socially or just trying, because it's so addictive and it's so, the worst outcome. So,
Yeah. What infuriates me is that because of the stigma that is associated with addiction in any form, is that, we get the bad mom, bad dad.
right.
And the reality is, like we said earlier, these are things that truly can only be processed, changed, and have a positive result as if the addict themselves comes to realize that this is happening.
Right.
And the scary thing is I think society makes us feel so bad that this is happening in our lives, to our family, to a friend, that so many of us get afraid to talk.
Yes.
To have this voice.
There's so much shame.
This voice that you are having right now. Like it's this shame game that I want to stop.
Yes.
Because you are not a bad mother.
Right.
You're a mom that is speaking and making a difference. It has just, it's just for me, I'm so proud of your bravery.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel when people stigmatize it? When people treat you differently because of it? Because sadly, that still happens.
Oh, definitely.
And
I think even right after it happened, there was so much stigma to it. It's like, I couldn't say anything to somebody. I couldn't talk about it. You know what I mean? Or even when I realized this addiction was happening, I can't tell people about it. It's something we have to handle internally in the family. Because of that stigma, I didn't reach out to other people for help.
What would you say are some of the biggest misconceptions that we all have about addiction and overdose, for that matter?
Right. The biggest misconceptions I think people have about overdose and fentanyl specifically is that people think that people go looking for fentanyl, and that is really never the initial case. It's always in something else. So like what Miles thought he was buying were Xanax. Right. There was absolutely no Xanax in his system at all. That's what the pills are. They're counterfeit pills. They're made with fentanyl and other, really harmful chemicals. So,
wow.
Yeah. And I really had no idea about that.
What do you feel communities can do to embrace those struggling? What better things can we do as we look into the future? Because this is not a problem that's just going to disappear by itself.
I think in its core, I think we have a more stigma against mental health too, because people have mental health. Substance use disorder is a medical thing.
Yes, it is.
People have that addiction. And people understanding that people have addictions and not blaming them for their disease. We need more resources for recovery centers, more beds, more places for people to get help.
Yeah.
when they're ready for help.
Yeah.
And they need to be alive. So we need to have harm reduction and Narcan on the street and testing strips. So there are people who are using need to come home tomorrow. Had the person where my son was with had Narcan, or knew how to use it or understood it, he could be alive today. And it really saves people's lives.
Yeah. So the grieving process, because I mean, I know it was 2021, but talk about that for you and what that's like.
Well, one thing that I always tell people is there are no like stages of grief. All those feelings are always there. It's, it's really is ever present. And there are a few things that help. And knowing you're not alone, knowing, I have found a lot of comfort by making connections with other people in my situation, and doing advocacy and trying to prevent this from happening to others.
I like to remember everything, like the bad things, the great things. Yeah. But that enhances his memory, so that way I can remember more. So, there you go. Yeah.
For what it's worth, I mean, he's right there with you.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Always in the back of my mind.
And that's beautiful. Like all those things that you just said I love that. I love that you haven't had the feeling of I must be to this point where I just don't remember, or I must, be healed to a point of there should be no such thing. No. Yeah. And it's frustrating when, again, society puts these...
Like a time limit.
Yeah. Like, now you're fine.
Right.
No.
Right.
It's not how it works.
No.
And it's okay that you're not fine.
Yeah.
You're not abnormal
right.
for not being fine.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's kind of generational too. Like older generations just think not talking about him or saying his name is okay. And I'm like, no. Or sometimes when people say, but I know they are well-intended, when people will say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up your son. I'm like, no,
bring
please
him up.
say his name.
Yeah.
Let's talk about him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Like I said before, I accept the things that I feel that way, and I always feel that way. But it's also opened my mind to helping people who are in that recovery and going through recovery.
Yeah. Speaking about, just resources, have you found specific things that have really helped you for parents that maybe are afraid to speak and afraid to ask for help and afraid to reach out to somebody? Have there been certain things that have helped you? Yeah.
Well, definitely working with Melinda, with her group and the Miles group. I like to feel that
you guys are doing.
Oh, for sure, that I'm involved. I go to the classrooms with her and the outreach things and get to talk to kids.
Yeah.
And tell them about the reality of life and the choices they'll have to make when it comes to drugs, alcohol. It's going to be there, whether they're in grade school or middle school or they go to high school or whatnot. It's going to be there, and they need to be aware of those issues and how to react to those situations when people when you're offering things.
Right.
All your friends are smoking weed and you want to kind of be involved and understanding you don't have to.
Melinda, talk about what the Miles group is doing differently.
Sure. And I will say that Miles wasn't our son's name, but I also use it as kind of like an acronym for our group. It's Mindful Informed Learning, Education, and Support. So just by those words alone, kind of paints a different picture than the prevention program or awareness program. Most parents are used to the DARE program, which most young people in our community anyway, they participate in their program in 5th grade, and it's kind of one and done.
Right.
And like expected to, whatever you learned then, that's it. We're not going to talk about this anymore. Maybe a couple weeks in a health class in 10th grade, and that's it. So I wanted to create a program that not only uses evidence-based curriculum and focuses on mental health, but provide an atmosphere where students know they can come to me and ask questions or get support, whether it's for them or someone they know in their family or their community.
I love
And,
this.
Yeah, thank you.
Where are you in this process?
So I do a group at my school weekly, and kids are welcome to come or not come. It's not forced, but believe me, they do come. Then I also do programming at the Lakewood Family YMCA. I've worked with Newbridge Cleveland, which is an amazing organization itself. I work in a charter school in Tremont. I'm going to be doing more with them, and also a Catholic school, elementary school in Fairview Park. So
Wow.
hoping to add a few Cleveland public schools, Cleveland Metropolitan School District schools too. So, and hoping to have more people that feel as passionate about this and providing programming as well.
It's so important because everything evolves.
Yes.
And
it does.
So has this arena of mental health.
Definitely.
So to have a program like DARE in fifth grade and expect by the time you're turning 16 to recall everything you learned there. I mean, things are constantly changing.
Constantly.
And there's new tools that you can use. And yes, I'm so excited for you that you are doing this and quite honestly paving the way.
Yeah, I hope so. I was inspired by when I was young and in high school in the 80s. MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, had just started, but really made a difference as far as back then. And, I thought, that mother had to be inspired from something that happened. So, I'm just going to kind of
and I love that she
follow that lead. And
I think it's beautiful that you've used Miles' name as the acronym for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, and it's another way, as I had mentioned, of saying his name. So, I like to keep.
He's always here.
Saying his name. Yeah.
And there's great organizations out there. Not only the Miles Group, you can email us. We can get you resources.
Right.
There's the Project White Butterfly, Recovery Collective, Thrive for Change. There's a lot of groups and things out there trying to create a safe neighborhood and try to stop people from dying.
Yeah. And I know that so many of you watching today, maybe you've gone through something similar. Maybe you know somebody. I don't know that there's any one of us that don't know somebody in this world right now that, that can't relate to this in some way. Well, you've got a big event coming up.
We do.
A couple days away, right?
Yes. Quicker than I thought.
Talk about that.
So it's actually August 31st is the official International Overdose Awareness Day, but our event is August 30th at Cleveland Public Square. So this is the third year that we have been doing
Congratulations.
this. Thanks. This year we're really trying to put a focus on honoring and remembering those that were lost to overdose. And then we'll have a lot of different community resources present and some yoga and mindfulness sessions and some guidance on journaling and rock painting, just different things to help learning different ways to honor those that lost.
August 30th, 12 to 3, we're having an event in the Cleveland Public Square where we'll have speakers, other people who lost people, but there'll be other people who are in recovery and they need help, and there'll be a place for them to go and hopefully find something through all that loss they've had.
Yeah.
Try to have some kind of connection, even if it's just a conversation. Last year we had it. Someone came up to me and was like, I was driving down the road and then I saw a sign and it had the event. And they came there and my brother just died. My mother wouldn't come. I made her come to this. It feels good to connect with people. And I told her, it's like what I said before, it's not going to get better. So have that relationship with your daughter that took you here. That helps a lot. I don't think I would have been here if it wasn't for my wife and my sons. If they weren't around.
And definitely story sharing, because there will be a lot of other parents and family members there. And I want to encourage, those are the stories we want to hear. I mean, we love, politicians that are trying to work against fentanyl and things like that, but that's not really the stories that we need to hear that day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And we love to hear stories from people in recovery as well, because we want to always still promote hope. And
There is always hope.
there is.
And I mean, through Miles, there is hope.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, he had so many friends, and they are all, of course, feeling the pain and missing him, but they are all also able to encourage their new friends, wherever they've gone off to college or wherever they're working, and tell his story too.
Yeah.
And so
that's the beautiful thing, is that although he's not physically sitting here,
right,
he is definitely very much present.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for talking about something that a lot of people are afraid to talk about.
It's a scary thing to talk about.
But it doesn't have to be. And
there's hope. There's hope out there.
There is hope. I love that word. And there is.
Yep.
And it's because of people like you. Thank you, Matt.
There's a lot more other people that work harder than me.
Well,
Well, you do too. You're getting the information out and getting that.
Well,
that's awesome.
I'm giving every prop to you.
Thank you.
Well, here's to a really, really successful event.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you for your bravery and just for being
for
so
having me.
open and talking about a really, really difficult thing.
Mm-hmm. It is, but thank you for the opportunity.
You bet.
Yes.
So this is where we have the coolest equipment here.
The clap. Oh, that's the same.
That's like the thing.
Okay.
One day I'm going to have a thingy.
Yes.
Are you gonna